Love them or hate them, many neighborhoods in the Dallas area have HOAs. So if you're moving here from out of state and not familiar with HOAs, or maybe this is your first home and never had to deal with HOAs, here's a crash course on what to expect. Hi, I'm Karen Torres, and I've been a realtor with Evie Halliday for 10 years and was born and raised in North Texas. Have questions about the area? You've come to the right place. Every week you can find a new video I've made about the Dallas Metroplex, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so that you'll be notified every week. And if you decide you would prefer to live in an area without HOAs, stick around until the end of the video and I will share some neighborhoods you may want to keep your eyes on. First off, why do homeowners have to pay dues to an HOA? Well, when you buy a home in a managed community, you are essentially agreeing to share in the costs of maintaining the common areas and amenities shared by all residents. The payments are a lot easier to swallow if you think of them as helping to ensure your property's value. HOA fees vary depending on amenities and services provided by the association. These fees can range between $100 and $700, and payment due dates also vary from monthly to quarterly, semi-annually, or even yearly. So where does all the money go? The HOA uses the fees collected to pay for expenses such as the improvement and maintenance of landscaping, parks, clubhouses, pools, and tennis courts. HOA responsibilities and duties vary, however, and may include paying taxes on the common areas, enforcing the rules, legal fees, or even insurance for the common areas. Next, the reserve account. So the HOA also uses a portion of the fees to fund the reserve account. This money is set aside to pay for major or long-term projects, such as replacing the roof on the clubhouse, installing a new pump for the community pool, or painting or landscaping project. The reserve fund will also pay for any needed natural disaster emergency repairs. What are special assessments? Well, the HOA reserve fund may not hold enough money to take care of an unexpected large expense, so homeowners may be asked to buy or pay a special assessment. Typically, the governing board will determine whether or not an assessment is required and in what amount. The HOA board is typically required to use these funds only for the stated purpose, and if there is money left over, the bylaws should outline whether it is to be redistributed to the homeowners or held in the general fund. Things to consider if you are buying a home in a managed community. Shortly after signing the agreement to purchase, you'll be given a huge packet of HOA documents to look over. Filled with legalese, this paperwork isn't light reading, but you'll want to look over them carefully and ask questions if there is something that you do not understand. Once you sign off on your acceptance of the HOA documents, there is no turning back. If you purchase the home, you are bound by them. Pay close attention to the following documents: the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions and Restrictions, a fancy way of saying rules and regulations, the CC&Rs as they're known, dictate how you can and cannot use the home. Some HOAs also issue a separate document outlining rules and regulations. Everything from pet ownership, landscaping, and the appearance of the exterior of the home to whether or not you can smoke in your backyard or what color your mailbox can be painted. So everything you need to know to decide whether or not the HOA is too restrictive for you can be found in these documents. Financial documents. How well does the HOA's board handle the association's finances? You can find out in the financial documents. You should find a statement of the amount of the current dues, the history of special assessment requests, the amount of money in the reserve fund, and the HOA's budget. Meeting minutes. So most HOA document packages contain copies of minutes from recent HOA meetings. Read through those and see with an eye toward finding the frequent and repeated homeowner complaints. Repeated complaints may be an indication of an unresponsive board. Now, we've talked about all the scary stuff, but there are pros to living in an HOA neighborhood. Parking restrictions will ensure that there are no cars on cinder blocks junking up your street. HOAs ensure uniformity, so no need to worry about living next to a Pepto-Bismol pink house. Chickens are most likely restricted, so no roosters cock-a-doodling at break of dawn. I know these sound far-fetched, but they actually happen. So HOAs do provide a benefit if you want assurances that the neighborhood's appearance won't change too dramatically from the appearance that you enjoyed when driving through the neighborhood for the first time. And don't forget, all the amenities within your neighborhood are yours to enjoy. So what do you think? Buying a home in a managed community does add to your house payment each month, but it also means the aesthetics of the neighborhood will be held to certain standards. So it comes down to just being a personal decision that only you can make. Now, as promised, I did want to provide a few neighborhoods in the area that are free of HOAs. So here we go. In the city of Plano, you may want to consider Cloisters. Homes are priced in the 3s and 4s. Hunter's Glen, those prices range they're typically in the 4s. Or Whiffletree is priced between $400,000 to $600,000. In Allen, some popular neighborhoods without HOA include Cottonwood Bend in the 4s, Fountain Park in the 3s and 4s, and Heritage Park in the $300,000 to $400,000. Finally, Frisco offers Hillcrest Estates in the 4s and Plantation Resort in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. Hope you found this information helpful, and if you need more specifics on the neighborhoods I've mentioned, you can call, text, or email me anytime so we can discuss further. I look forward to hearing from you, and see you next week.